Hello, my name is Josh Nelson. Today I'll be talking about one of the largest trade agreements in American history, known as the North American Free Trade Agreement, also known as NAFTA. So what was NAFTA? NAFTA was a trade agreement between the United States, Canada, and Mexico to lift most of the tariffs on the products that they were trading between each other. The countries had a pretty good relationship before this, but their trading was not as good as it could be because of these tariffs. So in 1992, they decided to come together, as you can see here, and sign this big deal. The goal of NAFTA was to bring Mexico more into the loop with Canada and the U.S. Canada and the U.S. already had a trade agreement called the Free Trade Agreement, in which most of the tariffs on every product were lifted, and they wanted to bring Mexico into that loop because they saw the potential that Mexico had, not only in the products that they could produce, but in the cheap labor as well. Mexicans were just willing to work for less, and U.S. and Canadian businesses saw that, and they saw the products that they were willing to produce, and quite frankly, they wanted a part of that. And this deal really did help all three countries in the end. What it did for Mexico was really just upstart their economy. Mexico economy before this had not been the best, but it actually helped them get out of a recession, and they were coming into, in 1995, they had a big thing called the Tequila Depression, in which most of South America actually did go into a depression, but NAFTA actually saved Mexico from going into this depression. And there was just a boom of jobs in Mexico, and they really did benefit quite well from this deal. Canada might have been the country that benefited the most. Economically, they did. They had ended up having 4.7 million jobs just from this, and really their economy boomed, and they were able to trade so much more. They actually have the biggest trade agreement with the U.S. in the world. So, many people don't know that. Many people would assume China, but no, it's actually Canada. For the U.S., many people argue whether it benefited or not. While it brought many more jobs, it only brought about $400 per citizen per year adding to it. So, in the end, the U.S., they argue whether it was good or not. Many people don't think it was, but many do, because for the businesses, it allowed people to trade more freely with Mexico, and it also allowed people to outsource more to Mexico. Mexicans were just willing to work for less money, and the Americans saw that, and so that did take some jobs away from the U.S. NAFTA actually ended in September of 2018. Trump called NAFTA the worst trade deal ever made, and he ended up making his own deal called the USMCA, also known as the US-Mexico-Canada Agreement, which did benefit the US a little more. I have a comparison chart right here. It took tariffs off of some products for the Americans, and it also added to, there was $600 million that went towards environmental safety. So, also, the USMCA had a big deal in auto trading. It helped the U.S. more, took tariffs off of a lot of the auto parts that they were ending up selling, which encouraged U.S. Companies to bring their jobs back to the U.S. instead of outsourcing out to other countries. And yeah, that's my presentation.